Times are tough for a lot of people, and groceries are very expensive right now, and with the job market the way that it is, hard to afford. So I thought it'd be interesting to take a look back in history at an economically similar time where the average American had to get really creative with food because groceries were expensive and hard to afford. And I am, of course, talking about the Great Depression. For this video, we'll be making one breakfast, one lunch, one dinner, and one dessert, all of them being recipes from the Great Depression era, and seeing if they can still hold up today. At the end of the video, I'll vote on which one I thought was best using 3 different metrics: cost, cooking efficiency, and taste. With that settled, let's begin with breakfast. If you're not hearing audio, that's because my shotgun mic on my camera decided to pull a good old-fashioned prank on me. It was plugged in the whole time I was filming, audio levels were reading, and then I dropped the footage into Premiere and I couldn't hear anything. I am simply fuming. So from here on out, I will be, unfortunately, narrating what you're hearing, or what you're searing. Searing? Dude, have tumor, gotta get help. Seeing is the word that I was going for. Anyways, please enjoy the rest of the video. Creamed chipped beef on toast was a meal that actually originated during the World Wars. It was a cheap, calorie-dense, and shelf-stable ration used to sustain military personnel in the field. When the Great Depression hit, it became a very simple meal that allowed cooks to stretch expensive ingredients across many servings. Hello, this is narrator Nick. This is the portion of the video where I'm going to tell you what you're seeing on screen. At this point in the video, this is where I'm making creamed chipped beef on toast. This is where I'm pouring some milk onto some flour and butter into the pan. This is and we're gonna mix it about here. This is to make the gravy, essentially. So you mix it up until it gets a little bit thicker. That's the gravy, and then I'm putting in what looks like pepperoni, but it's actually chipped beef. So you're tossing it in there. Well, I'm tossing it in there. You're not doing anything actually, but watching the video. And then you mix it. You mix the gravy on there. And you know, it's good. And then there's the toast. So this is where I come over top, and I tried to pour it nicely, but it spilled out. Also, cast iron skillets are heavy, so it's really hard to hold that with one hand. Not very strong, I guess. So I poured it out. I know it looks absolutely disgusting, but as you can see in the taste test here, it's really not bad. It's kind of an acquired taste, if anything. But overall, it tastes fine. Like, surprisingly, it tastes fine. Yeah, I'm talking there, but my mic didn't work, so I was just telling you guys how it was kind of good. So yeah, that was cream chip beef. Peanut butter and onion sandwich was a sandwich that became a staple of the Great Depression because of the uber simple 3-ingredient recipe, and each of the ingredients were considered to be very cheap at the time. And the fact that it required no cooking and barely any time to make, it was the perfect meal to fit into a busy day grinding away at the steel mill for pennies. The peanut butter onion sandwich was absolutely freaking gross. I bit into it. It didn't taste like anything but peanut butter at first, and then the onions took over with a weird aftertaste. Instantaneous anger when I tasted that. It was absolutely awful. Yeah, that's peanut butter and onion sandwich. Hoover stew was a symbol of the Great Depression. It was a cacophony of cheap ingredients thrown together to make something that the family could gather around at the dinner table for. It was also sarcastically named after the president at the time, Herbert Hoover, who many blamed for the country's economic collapse. So, the Hoover stew was really interesting. It's macaroni and cheese, hot dogs, which those two on their own are fine. But then you put in the corn, like such, and then some diced tomatoes, and that's where you lost me. And then you put in a little salt and a little pepper. it was an interesting combination. It did not taste bad. Like, it was fine, but it was also odd, you know? And it was, with all of the different flavors in there, it was oddly kind of bland at the same time. I didn't expect that. But overall, not a bad dish. And that is Hoover stew. Wacky cake was a dessert made from affordable ingredients to serve as a tasty symbol of hope in trying times. As grocery prices soared during the Great Depression, kitchen necessities like eggs, milk, and butter became unattainable commodities. Because of this, a dessert like Wacky cake had to rely on a chemical reaction between apple cider vinegar and baking soda to become a cake in the oven. The ingenious and cheap dessert became a Great Depression symbol across many resilient and creative American kitchens. Yeah, so Wacky cake, it was interesting. So yeah, it doesn't have eggs or milk. You can't use eggs or milk for it, and so you have to rely on the reaction between the apple cider vinegar and the baking soda, which obviously caused the disaster that was the cake that came out. It was an absolute travesty. It goes in as liquid and then it rises and becomes a cake-like substance. But it just didn't come out right. It didn't come out right at all. Here I am taking way too long to open the oven, and I'm now pissing myself off on another timeline. Open the oven for sure. Okay. Yeah, so it was a travesty, and you'll see a little bit more about that travesty here. A little bit of an update on the cake here. I don't have the good camera with me, so I'm just using my phone. I can't figure out what to do with the thing. It said bake it for 40 minutes, and I did that, and then I did some extra time, but it's still gooping. It's still... Yeah, it's not supposed to do that. I don't know if it's safe to eat. I'm so bad at just baking stuff. Oops, that's not supposed to happen at all. Did you see that? Yeah, you're not really supposed to get a cheese pull out of a cake. Anything with some kind of bread that has to go into an oven, I'm hopeless. I cannot bake to save my life. I'm gonna get some of the corners here, because that's at least the cooked part. Oh, that's not cooked either. Oh God, okay. No wonder I was having such a hard time getting it off there. This is a travesty. Let's see this part. Oh my God. Got a little bit. It's still gooey. It's hopeless. It's absolutely hopeless. It smells good. Taste is good. It's just the goo. Wow, I suck at baking. That's crazy. This is that's a little bit safer. Let's see. Yeah, that's safe. Taste is fine. Oh my God. So I've effectively made chocolate glue, by the way. Dude, I followed the recipe to the T. This is ridiculous. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Guys, I made the symbiote from Spider-Man. This looks like that stuff they had to eat on at the back of the train in Snowpiercer. Whatever it was, the protein mush. This is freaking gross. and not safe to eat at all. Wow. If anyone would like to teach me how to bake, I'm down, because I am a mess at this. That's Wacky Cake. I give it a 4-star on taste, 1 star on safety if I'm the one baking it. I think this qualifies as an OSHA violation at the end of the day. I'm not sure. Unbelievable. You hear it? Cake's not supposed to sound like that. That's crazy, dude. Anyways, that's all the meals. Let's head to the final review. Now we come to the rating portion of our video here, where we decide which of the meals that I made was best, decided upon 3 different factors, which are cost, cooking efficiency, and taste. The first one was creamed chipped beef on toast. That one, all around the ingredients, cost about $17, and the cooking time was about 15 to 20 minutes, so not a hard meal to make. Overall, I think that the cost is fine for what it is, and you can also make several servings of it in one go, so you can really stretch those ingredients. And the taste overall wasn't bad. I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. It was definitely my first time ever making my own gravy, but I think it came out fine. I am hopeless in the kitchen, so the fact that I was able to throw this one together just speaks to its simplicity, its efficiency, its cost, and then its taste at the end of the day. So not a bad way to start the day with your breakfast, especially in a time of, financial collapse like the Great Depression. So I'm sure it was a breakfast that they had appreciated at the time. I give the creamed chipped beef a 4.5 stars, honestly. I don't think it was perfect, but I think it was fine for what it was. Our second meal was our peanut butter and onion sandwich. This was our cheapest one. The ingredients altogether cost about $6.50, and the cook time was about 5 to 10 minutes because it's just making a sandwich. Very simple to put together. Cost, I mean, it's great because it's super cheap. Cooking efficiency, great, because it's in the middle of the day. Lunch is kind of a difficult meal to figure out, especially when you're working, 12 hours at a steel mill for pennies. But the taste, man, I don't know what they were thinking with the onions. It's so nasty. I mean, strong 1 star. If I could give it 0 stars, I would, honestly. It was nasty. That might sound harsh, but I do hate onions, so that may be in play there. But so gross, such a disgusting sandwich. I don't know what they were thinking with putting onions on that thing. Nasty all around. Not worth the cost or the cooking efficiency for that one. For dinner was our Hoover stew. The ingredients for that one, I thought the cost was going to be a little bit more, surprisingly, but it actually came out to around $14, and then the cook time was about 25 to 30 minutes. So cooking efficiency wise, not the most efficient meal, but it is pretty efficient for a family dinner. And then cost wise, of course, that really helps out a lot for a family dinner. I would say it's really only going to do you 1 to 2 dinners a week, though. Those ingredients can't stretch for the amount of mouths that you might have to feed with that kind of dinner. Overall taste, it was okay. It was interesting. I'd say probably about 3.5 stars. The ingredients didn't really mix that well, but for a dinner, it was fine. Fine overall. Lastly, we had Wacky Cake. It is a dessert. There was a travesty in the kitchen trying to bake that one up. I think it also had to do with the fact that my knowledge in the kitchen, especially with baking, is very limited. I'm not good at baking at all. And relying on baking soda and apple cider vinegar to make a cake for me instead of using regular eggs and milk and butter and flour and things like that. I think it was a recipe for disaster. I created essentially what was hot sludge, possibly a new element, I'm not sure. But I had a little bit of what was cooked on the top of it. So taste-wise, I would say 4 stars for that one. It was fine. But cost, ingredients, Ingredients cost around $20, so our more expensive meal for sure there. Cooking time was about an hour, putting all of the ingredients together and then baking it. Took a little bit longer for me because I tried to put it in for extra time, which did not help at all. But overall, not super hard, but also not that efficient. You know, that's probably kind of a once in a month special treat for the family kind of thing. So out of all of these on cost, cooking efficiency, and taste, I would say that my favorite was the creamed chipped beef on toast. I think that one, for the ingredients cost, those ingredients might have been the second most expensive collection of ingredients, but those ingredients can be spread out across a few days through the week. Very simple meal to make in the morning, great way to start your day, and the taste is fine. Taste is pretty good overall. So that one would have to be my favorite, honestly. With all that being said, that does bring us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you want to see more of my channel, I have several other videos to check out. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And if you want to let me know what you thought of the video, please do in the comment section. If you want to let me know what other videos you might like to see me make, also let me know in the comment section down below. But other than that, thank you so much for watching the video. And always remember, you got this.
I've been moving real slow, let the night breathe. Whiskey in my tongue, yeah, let me talk sweet. I don't taste much honey cause you got deep. If I let you in, baby, it's a real